Hello, and welcome to my BMW. This is a 2006 BMW 330i. It is on the E90 platform, and it is an N52 engine. I just got this out of a trade. I traded straight across for an Audi A3 2007. And I got that on a straight trade for a 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Here it is. Sorry, it's kind of dark, kind of hard to see the imperfections, which there are some imperfections, but for the most part, she's all there. It's a decent car. Bodywork's in pretty decent shape. The engine, I don't believe is original to the car. The body has about 205,000 miles on it. But you wouldn't think so looking at it, I guess. Or maybe you would, if you're a BMW expert, or if you're just really good at telling mileage on cars. But the most striking feature about this BMW, and really hard to find, is not the magazine style cup holders. It's the lack of lights on the dash. I don't have that seatbelt lights on because I'm not wearing my seatbelt, but that's besides the point. But it doesn't have airbag lights, it doesn't have oil lights, it doesn't have coolant lights. The only thing I got really is a bad windshield wiper sensor, which is, to be expected. But it's got the navigation, the DVDs. Here, I'll show you. It has a DVD, and I believe it to be the original to the car. It's 2006 or 2007 maps, but if you can see, it's it's a little it's a little scratchy. The only other major problem with this car, well, there's two major problems. One being the aftermarket coilovers installed in this car that are utter absolute crap. They ride like bricks, and both the sway bars are like custom, and they're both broken. So I have no sway bar. Now, I don't notice that because I don't drive on tracks at the moment. I'm a mostly putt around town kind of guy. But yeah, so those will be changed over to struts. This does have the sport suspension. And yeah, that'll be fixed eventually. But the other thing that's wrong with it, and it's only a problem because there's, 21 of the Fahrenheit's outside. It doesn't have a very functional heater. Now, this is a common problem on these E90s. It could be either a stuck thermostat, it could be a water pump that's lost communication, that's running at a preset speed, like 50 or 75%, and never shuts off. I don't know if they're supposed to shut off. But also, I've heard that there's a radiator issue, that the radiator has a transcooler portion in it, and if there's a leak inside of the two sections, that it'll drastically reduce the cooling performance, or it'll make the engine overcool. I do know that when I took the coolant cap off the reservoir, it sprayed, and that's why there was blue shit all over the inside of the engine bay. So I don't recommend that. But that's what led me to believe that the thermostat was stuck and it was just constantly circulating. But anyways, it's only a problem for the winter. Now, it does have seats. It has a window. This window has cracks in it. I am planning, quote unquote, on having a new windshield put in. Shouldn't be too terribly bad price-wise. People always get scared of BMW maintenance, but it's only expensive if you let a shop do it right. I plan on doing all of my own maintenance on this, And, you know, I have a pretty decent set of tools. I have a shop that I have access to. I don't have a lift, but I do have Rhino jacks or Rhino rips, and I have jack stands. So if it's something I can do on that, then it'll get done. Oh, another thing I should mention: the rear heater, the rear window defrost relay exploded before I got the car. So I'm hoping I just replaced that relay and it works. It'd be really nice to have rear window defrost because we're, currently back there, it's just, fog city. What have I done to it so far? I've had it for a little under a week. Or a little under 2 weeks, I should say. I've had it for a little over a week. I've done an oil change, and there was no sparkles. Good. Last car did, but that's besides the point. What else have I done? Oh, I fixed the trunk latch. There's a bunch of broken wires in the trunk. And I replaced the IBS cable, which is intelligent battery sensor. It's not irritable bowel syndrome, although, maybe it is. But replaced that cable and it fixed a host of other issues. So I guess if you own one of these E90s and you're having a bunch of issues and your IBS cable's one of them, fix that first, register your battery, and see what else starts working afterwards. But this car's healthy. The it's quick, transmission shifts good, engine's nice and strong. Valve cover's a little leaky, it's got some stuff. But I plan on taking it to the BMW dealership because there's a recall for the PCV valve heaters. And they'll actually just replace the whole valve cover, which is nice because you know what? There's a gasket on there and they can't replace it without replacing the gasket. So, never mind the fact that I just bought all that stuff and it's currently on its way here, tomorrow or the next day. But I can just return that. But the oil filter housing gasket also needs done. I will be doing that, unfortunately. And I got the Mickey Mouse flange for the coolant hose, the CNC aluminum one. So, there's some upgrades and stuff. I plan on doing some stuff to this car. So, if you're into this kind of thing, I watch a lot of those channels where people like to buy little shitty cars like this and fix them up. I wouldn't say this is a shitty car. Far from it, actually. But it was a cheap car. The owner was only asking about $6,000 for it, which is a lot to me, but to other people might not be so much. So anyways, hopefully this is the start of something, and hope to see you tune in for the next one.